Hi, everyone, and welcome back
to another episode at Just Keeping It Realty, where we give you the tea on everything real estate.
My name is Cindy Zavala.
And I'm Betty Garza.
And we are
your favorite broker team in South Florida.
So you found your niche. You did your homework, and now you know that you want to focus on being a buyer's agent, a listing agent, maybe an investor, maybe working with investors. So today,
we're going to tell you the top 5 things that you need to do every day in order to be successful in whichever niche you have chosen for you. First, it is stay informed with your market. 2, network with other professionals. 3, enhance your skills. 4 would be review your daily goals. And the most important, where all the money is follow up.
Follow up is where the money's at. Okay, so number 1, staying informed. Betty, what does it mean to stay informed?
Really, you could look at that from many perspectives, though I feel the top way, and everyone is always asking this, whether you're at a party, a networking event, or just a one-on-one conversation, the main question that we get is,
how's the market?
How's the market? So when you answer that question, it's very important that you come from a place of a professional and you really are informed, okay? So ask one question. Well, are you asking from a seller's perspective or a buyer's perspective, right? Because that's very important. It's 2 completely different markets. And we utilize tools from our local MLS, and we have senior partners that bring a lot of value to our team.
Yes. One of the things that I've learned, and the reason why I like to join our multiple calls that we have weekly, we make the time to join these calls because they do bring a lot of value to the way we have conversations. So one of the things that we've learned is how to turn conversations into a lead.
An opportunity.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Every conversation that you have anywhere that you may be, whether it's a party, a soccer game, you're at the supermarket, be intentional with how the conversation goes. When somebody asks you, how's the market? Make sure that you know your area. Make sure that you know your market. Make sure that you come from a place of value where you're not going to say, oh, no, you're wrong, or no, you're this. No, you're going to come from a place of knowledge and share that with the client. And like she said, it's 2 different answers when it's coming from a buyer's perspective or a seller's perspective. So you have to learn and practice how to engage in those conversations and really, really sound like your market and area professional.
Absolutely. So cool little tip, my son plays soccer and it's in a specific city. So I know that a lot of the other parents live within that area. So I make sure to kind of stay up to date with that specific city and that market and what's going on. And there's a simple tool if you're here in Palm Beach that's called Sunstats. It's in our MLS, and guess what? It's free. There you can look up by zip code, by city, and it gives you exactly what kind of market it is. Buyers, sellers, how many homes have sold, what's the median price range. You don't have to be that specific, but if you know it, then it comes off a little bit more natural, yet professional.
Okay, so number 2 is networking. And we are going to go into detail about 3 different types of networking that has worked for us. Because Betty, what does networking mean?
Right, network can look a lot of different ways, and you can network all day and not get any business done. So we want to tell you which ones to specifically focus on and what's worked for us. So the first networking is vendors. And vendors is important because there are a lot of people involved in one transaction. And when you get that client, whether it's a buyer or seller, you want to have those vendors in your back pocket and be able to really say, I know who this person is, you know their business, you know that they do well, and you know about them, and you're not just pulling a title company or an appraiser or a lender out of the business cards that are in the office. You have no idea who they are. So really just kind of taking a quick 30 minutes to have a coffee or a conversation or a Zoom call to kind of connect with those vendors so that you have those in your back pocket when it comes time to do a transaction and you really know who they are. So vendors are important.
Yes, and also another thing that we do when we're working with buyers or sellers is that we have a list and we provide options for our clients, whether it's a list of 3 inspectors, a list of 3 title companies that we personally work with and we know, because the vendors that you work with are a reflection of you.
A thousand
It's
percent.
it's a reflection of the transaction. So you want to make sure that everything is up to par for your client. You want to make sure that you've done your homework and you're not just, like she said, pulling a name out of a hat and okay, we're going to go with this title company. No, build those relationships. Take the time to get to know your title company. Take the time to know your inspectors. Take the time to know your lenders, and make sure that when you work with them that you do take the time to have that 3-4 minute conversation when you're doing a transaction, and not just make it so transactional, because this business is of how you make people feel.
Yes, absolutely. And the second networking part is businesses. Local businesses are very important. One, because they could be a referral source for you. People always know people that are looking to buy or sell or maybe invest or have opportunities for you. So knowing, and that helps you to know the market as well, and the areas, and people that come from out of state that are looking to buy are going to want to know where to go. So if you can recommend a local restaurant or a local hardware store, little things like that, anything that is business like, and think about what people do on a daily basis, even if it's an organic, food store or a marketplace that happens on Saturdays, like little things like that are going to be important, and you're going to look like the local expert.
Yes, and especially us ladies, because one of the common questions that Betty and I get all the time is who does your hair, who does your nails, where do you go for your facials, who does your eyebrows. So building that networking referral system with local businesses is a great way to get business.
Absolutely. And you just build those relationships, because at the end of the day, this industry is also relationship based. And, again, just knowing who you're connecting with and who you're referring, super important. And the third networking is our favorite, realtors. It's connecting with other agents, because you just never know who you're going to do business with next. And when it's a familiar face and you've met this person and you guys have had quick conversations or long conversations, or maybe you've done a transaction in the past, whatever it is, connecting with other realtors is another important networking aspect, and that you want to make part of your business, because there's over 60,000 agents here just in Palm Beach, and you're bound to do business with some people. So if you've connected with them before, it makes it a lot easier and a lot more friendlier.
Yes, and me being a buyer's agent, I smile every time I'm going to show a property and I already know the agent and I had a good experience with that agent. It makes me smile, and it makes me, go even harder in showing the property, because it does make you feel good when you have worked with people. And that's why, when people approach us and they ask us what we do, what we've done, and how, we love to give and share information. And, we've brought people over to our brokerage because they are so in awe with what our brokerage provides, in the sense of the tools that are given to you. Because in the beginning of my career, I thought I joined the number one brokerage in training at that time. And I outgrew it. I outgrew what I learned there, and I wanted to keep growing. And I just felt I was put in a box and labeled a rock star, and there was no moving on from that.
No.
And when Betty invited me to one of her trainings, or to meet one of the events, I fell in awe. It was so, that is something that
the light bulb went off for her, and she saw the vision and the opportunities. Because at the end of the day, as a professional, you need multiple opportunities for multiple income opportunities to bring it in when you're doing what you do every single day as a real estate agent.
Yes, and I think that was my aha moment when I was invited to this event, that it was like, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to get another stream of income come in. That to me was like, why not? Why not? I'm doing everything that I'm doing. I'm doing what I love, and I'm going to continue to do it, but with an additional stream of income. And that to me was my aha moment when I decided to join our brokerage. And I love it, and I'm so passionate about it, because they want to see you grow. And I think this is a business where there's enough business for everyone. and sharing knowledge and helping someone else. Even when I've done a transaction and maybe the agent on the other end is new, I don't mind walking the agent through writing up an addendum or helping them or letting them know where they can find the form, because I truly enjoy it. And that's how our brokerage operates and thinks. Okay, so now we are to number three. Number three being skills. Betty, what are skills? What skills do I need to become a top producing agent? Tell me.
I know you guys don't want to hear this, but it is super important to practice your skills. And guess what? It's free. You can do it on your own, and it will make you look so much better and feel more confident, because that's what you need. You need confidence. You got to stand out. And the first skill really is role playing. Role playing, whatever it is, because depending on your niche and who you're going to be calling and what your focus is, whether it's for sale by owners, expired, it's your, sphere of influence, which are your friends, your family, people, soccer moms, people at Pilates, whatever it is, you need to practice what you're going to say, just so that you look more confident when you're doing it. And with our senior partners, they actually have a role play group that's twice a day, 5 days a week, and they take care of the scheduling. They assign you your partner, and all you have to do is show up. Super easy. Is it uncomfortable? Sure. But at the end of the day, if you practice your skills in talking, you're just gonna be so much better. And that's what you want.
Yes. And a lot of people think that role playing is just memorizing a script. And me, I'm so unique, and I think I'm the best, because my mom tells me. But I mean, people think that it's just learning a script, and it's not. It's not about just learning the script. It's about knowing how to handle the objections that come when you're presenting to a buyer or to a seller, when you're having a consultation. And that is the important part of role playing. It's not memorizing. It's not sounding robotic. It's being comfortable and knowing what to say that builds the confidence.
Yes. So it's just internalizing it and then making it your own. Then you can bring your personality into it. But you can't bring your personality into it until you know it.
Yes.
And that brings us to the next skill, which is presenting. If you're one that's going to focus on listings and sellers, that presentation, when you show up at their house, from the time they open the door, I mean, really from the time you pull in the driveway, you need to have exactly step by step of what it is you're doing. How do you present yourself? And what are you going to say? I know when I first became an agent, to go and think that I was going to go present and tell a seller what they should sell their house for and how they should do it, I was super nervous. But if you practice those skills, there's no reason to be nervous. And as soon as that seller says, yes, come over, I want you to, interview and tell me how to sell my house and what it's going to price for. If you're already practicing your skills, there's no reason to be nervous. You're already going to know what to say and how to say it.
And presentation is key. Make sure you have your full presentation ready to go, whether you present it on an iPad,
Which you should be doing.
Yes. Whether you bring, a folder that you've dedicated just to their property and you've added pictures, specific to the home, and you've put little details about yourself and things like that. People appreciate that. And always know and just read the room, because not every listing presentation or buyer consultation will go the same. So you have to be prepared and practice your skills, know what you're going to say. So then you always look as professional and sound as knowledgeable as possible.
And part of the role play group is really pre-qualifying. Because even before you get in front of the person that's thinking about selling or buying, pre-qualifying them is a very important step. And we have those resources as well with our senior partners, and us here can really provide what questions to ask and how to ask them. Because I know we worked with a lot of newer agents, and we know they get a little nervous when asking questions. But don't worry, we got your back as far as what to say and how to say it.
And on that note, I know that a lot of people think that asking, are you pre-approved? When are you ready to move? When, all those difficult questions that for some people may be uncomfortable because they don't realize in the beginning of their career how important those questions are.
It's going to save you a lot of time.
Yeah, it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of grief. And again, that's why we're here. So if you're enjoying this content, please go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Comment if there's a specific
topic,
yeah.
Even click on the link below and set up a one-on-one with us. We love hearing from you guys.
And we love sharing and talking and just encouraging everyone not to leave this business, especially in the shifting market.
Yes.
It's going to get better.
Okay, so the third skill that we want to go over is super easy, and it's more geared if you're thinking about working with buyers more than with sellers. And that's showing property. You know, when you first get a buyer that's like, hey, I'm looking to buy, show me this house. I found it on, XYZ website. I want to go see it. And you're like, oh my God, I've never even opened a lockbox, or is it Supra, or what is it? But if you practice just going out and showing property and opening the lockbox, and that also helps you to know and stay informed with the market as far as what's for sale and how those conditions of those homes look. Hello, go out and practice, show a vacant house to your fellow realtors or whatever it is, or maybe it even helps you with content for social media.
Yes, and I would like at this time to give a quick tip of something that has worked for me and that I know that a lot of the buyers that I've worked with have found value in. When I show property, I will usually number, if we're doing 3 showings, I will print the private MLS for me so I have the information and I'll put it on a clipboard, and then I will print the public MLS and put it on a clipboard and number it for my client. So that way I give them a pen. That way if they have any notes, if they want to jot anything down, they can turn the sheet around for the specific house and write any questions that they might have later, or anything that they noticed, or anything that they just want to, remember about the home. So that is something that I've done that's worked for me, and my buyers truly appreciate it, because sometimes, you run out of the house, you're ready to go see if we're going in the evening after work, they're not thinking about bringing a notepad or a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just a little touch and a little tip for you guys when working with buyers is always those little extra things go a long way.
Yeah, so be prepared.
Okay, so number 4, daily goals. What does that mean, and what does that look like, and what are my daily goals?
You think goals and you're like, oh my God, like again, or don't let it stress you out. But before I get into daily goals and exactly what that looks like, stay tuned for number 5, because that's where the money is.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
That's where you want to focus in on, and it's super easy. Okay, so daily goals. What does that look like? What do you need to be doing on a daily basis? You got to have that little list so that it keeps you on track, because you can get distracted and you don't even remember what you're supposed to be doing. So have your daily goals. These should be activities that are going to bring you business, because that's what you want. That's what you need to survive in real estate. And that is, first of all, contacts. How many people are you going to talk to about real estate? Who do they know that has real estate needs? And doing that on a daily basis and having a goal of specifically, is it 5 people that I'm going to talk to? Is it 10 people I'm going to talk to? Make it obtainable and realistic for yourself.
Yes, and when she says talk to people or make it intentional about having a real estate conversation, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone calls you and you're like, oh, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to buy a house. Can you help me? That is not what she means. What she means is 5, 10, 15 contacts throughout the day that you can put in your CRM.
What's a CRM?
A lot of brokerages don't provide CRM, but ours does, and that is KV Core. And that is where you put all the people that you come in touch with. So you have it in a set database where you keep it all together, where you can go in at the end of the year or any time of the year and print a list, send out holiday cards, send out, different things throughout the year, and give those little special touches to your contacts.
And staying in touch, because I think that's what a lot of us lose. We forget, like, oh yeah, who did I talk to last week? What did we talk about? There, you put notes, and then you can stay in touch with them and remind them that, hello, I'm in real estate, so that you stay top of mind when they're thinking about selling or buying, or they know someone that is.
So an example of a contact for me would be, I went to go get an oil change. I'm at the dealership, I'm waiting, and the gentleman asks me or says, oh, you look very nice. What do you do for a living?
Hello.
That is my opportunity. That is a lead. It's not going to convert right away, maybe, or maybe he might be in the market to sell or buy at the moment. But what do? I say, oh, by the way, I'm a local real estate agent. Here's my contact information, whether I give them my electronic card, I give them my dot card, I give them, my phone number or just my paper business card, whatever it is, I always try to get their contact information.
Yes, I was going to say a little trick is kind of like, oh, I forgot my business cards at home. What's your phone number? A little trick to that I like to do is kind of when they ask for my business card, like, oh, great, you're in real estate, give me one of your cards. I'll look through my purse and I'll say, oh, I forgot my business cards at home, but I have a digital one. I could text it to you. That way you capture their phone number. And not that you're going to bother them and blow them up and call them and text them like crazy, just so that you have a piece of their information and you can do those touches throughout the year.
Yes, once I send my electronic card, when I do that little trick, I always just send a little quick text. Hey, it was great meeting you today. If you ever know of anyone looking to buy or sell, I hope that you can share my contact information. And that's it. We leave it at that. No,
Exactly.
We don't bother them again. We don't call them unless they reach out to us. But that's a way to build your contact list, especially for me that I moved from another state to Florida. Betty is born and raised in Florida. So for me, it was starting a whole new contact list, and 95% of my business comes from social media.
And that's the other goal. The other goal is, if you're going to, and honestly, there's no reason not to, it gives you a huge reach from not just people that you're going to face to face, which you're going to do too, social media, videos. Guys, I already know what you're saying in your head is, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to record. Well, that goes into your practice. And practicing being in front of the camera doesn't cost you anything. And it doesn't cost you even any kind of embarrassment, because you can take 100 clips on your phone by yourself that no one's ever going to see, but at least you're practicing and you're getting out there. So just getting on social media. Are you going to post once a day? Twice a day? Are you going to go live? Are you just going to do a post? Are you going to do in your story? Those are part of your goals too. And knowing what you need to do before you do anything else is hitting that goal list, the contacts, the social media, and anything like that. Check them off, guys, and make sure that you have your goals as far as daily, weekly. Okay.
And another quick tip for social media, if you are one that doesn't want to be in the camera, or you think you're shy, and what I started doing when I first began in social media was that I would take a quick video of the property that I was showing, and I would put the information and I wouldn't put the price. Why didn't I put the price? Because I wanted people to reach out and ask, where is it located and how much is it? And that's how you spark conversations through social media.
Yes. So, it's like that. You could even go to new construction, do videos there. And that's another goal, is how many properties are you going to view? If you're farming a certain area, how many properties are you going to go view so that you know your market? All right. So last but not least, everyone's favorite, you should be picking up the phone daily. And why are you picking up the phone? What am I going to do over the phone? Who am I calling? What are we
doing? Yes, picking up the phone, I think, is one of my hardest things to do, but I do it, and I do it because it does bring business. It really, really does. And I prefer to do more of a soft approach. So I will take on the list of, if we have a listing in a particular area, in a specific community, I will call that community and just say, hi, my name is Cindy. I'm calling from so-and-so. We just want to let you know that we have a listing. In case you know anyone looking to move into your community or in your area, if you have a friend or a family member that you would like to be your neighbor. And that for me is an easier type of call than the traditional cold calling, I want to sell your house.
Right. So if it expired or the for sale by owners is not necessarily your approach, I know that a lot of people have kind of a block of what those calls look like. And maybe in the beginning you don't want to. Circle prospecting is where it can be too. You can make those calls. But let's say you don't have a listing. Oh, Betty, Cindy, I don't have a listing yet. then you can ask one of your fellow realtors, reach out to us. We have a listing in this area, and circle prospects for us and say, hey, there's a house in your neighborhood for sale. You can talk about the price. You can then, when you're getting to know the market, that's part of what you're getting to know. And sometimes people don't know, or they do know, but again, it's that warmer approach. It's just like, hey, I want to solve any issues that you have or bring value to you. I'm a local professional. I'm here for any questions. And they may or may not be, thinking about selling, but at least you made those calls. And with those calls, your goal is to at least set one appointment every single day. Okay?
Yes.
And that's why you practice and you do your role playing and you do everything you need to do, because with those phone calls, that's what your intention should be, to at least set an appointment once a day.
Yes, and a lot of the times the people that you speak to are not looking to sell, but they're curious. What are you listing it at? How many bedrooms? Are you having an open house? Can we stop in and see it? And
that's another phone call too that
Yes.
Cindy has made. Hey, we're hosting an open house this weekend.
So if you have a friend, someone that you know that wants to move into your neighborhood, please let them know. I'll stop by. Can I text you the flyer? Can I email you the flyer? Can I always try to get their contact information, not to bother them, because I really don't want to be a pest. I don't want to overstep my boundaries. I really want people to come to me and to think of us when they are looking to sell or buy a property. That is the goal, and that's why I like the warmer approach rather than, hey, are you looking, I have 10 listings in your area, or
they've already had 12 agents that called them,
or
because it
your
expired.
listing just expired, and I want to be the 25th person to call you. No, I want to bring value. I want to let them know there's a house listed in your neighborhood. If you know anyone, this is the price.
Yeah.
Let me send you the link to your text, and you can forward it. If you think, later in the day, you think of somebody, oh yeah, so-and-so did want to live in my neighborhood. Well, you know what? You have the link and you can forward it to them, and we will greatly appreciate your referral.
Yes.
Because that's the business that we're in. Referrals, contacting people.
Bringing value.
Yeah.
And making those connections.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, so now we are to number 5. We are finally to the end. And in the words of my friend and business partner, Betty Garza, the most important.
Yes, the most important is follow up. Why is it so important? It brings everything that you're doing, numbers 1 through 4, all together. It makes sense of why you role play, why you're keeping up with the market, why you're making contacts, why are they going into KV Core or CRM, whichever you use, into your database, and why you're capturing people's contact information. It is for follow-up, because when you're having these conversations and you're making these phone calls and you're talking to people about real estate, guess what? When you do what you're supposed to do, and that's following up with them when they're ready in a few weeks, 2 months, 3 months, even 6 months down the road, because you continue to follow up and talk to them about real estate, they now are going to want to work with you. Yes. Call you to list, call you to buy. Oh, their cousin's moving in from California or New York or Texas, wherever it is. And guess what? You come top of mind because you were consistent and you followed up in everything that you spoke about when you first started the conversation with them.
And one way that I like to follow up is just being present every day on social media. That is my way of, not only do I do the touches of happy birthday, I always comment on people's pictures, especially their kids on social media, things like that, because you do want to, it's genuine, because I really do care about, everyone. But also, you want to make sure that you are present, that you are there, that when they think real estate, your name pops up, your team pops up. And that is what I do through social media. I go in and if there's an accident on 95, if there's this, if something's going on, I will share it. If there's a certain restaurant giving, buy one, get one free, if there is a sale, on clothing or something that I know that people enjoy or people like, I like to share those things. And, if events in our community, we share that on our team page all the time. Free movie night, free this, free that, because people are always looking for things to do. And we take the time to share that information.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important.
And yes, so using social media as a platform to then make your contacts. Once you see that they're interacting with your page as well, that's another way to just kind of capture those people and then communicate with them, build that relationship until you can add them to your database or you bring up the conversation of real estate. And then from there, again, that follow up is where it's important and what's going to make you stand out from the rest, because most people kind of forget a conversation that they had months ago or weeks ago because hello, we get caught up in life. Though once, because you've done all the steps and you've stayed consistent and you've come through, you are the one that pops up when they're in need of real estate.
Yes, yes, yes. And also just, talk about real estate and answer their questions. And that's why, again, number one is very important, staying informed on your market and what's going on and what is really, also too, a lot of the things that we do is research on schools, because that is like one of the number one. And, we don't like research every school, but we research where to get the information and what links we can provide
Have
to
those
our
resources.
yes,
for sure.
what links we can provide to our client so they can do their own research, because what we might think is a good school is not particularly what they are looking for. So you have to give them options and give people the opportunity to do their own research when they are looking to relocate. So
yes. All right, guys. So we hope that you can take those simple 5 steps and do that consistently and daily in your real estate business, and that you found value in this. And if there are any other questions or maybe another topic that you want some more information on, don't hesitate, reach out, text, call, DM. We're on social media.
yes,
comment below.
DM us. Yes, reach out if you'd like to set up a one-on-one and learn more about our brokerage or what we do. Or if you have, like she said, a specific question on something that you want more information on, let us know. We'll be more than happy to make a video.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So that's Just Keeping It Realty, where we give you the tea on everything real estate, and we will catch you in the next video.